chapter 4, excuse, excuse me, chapter 4 of All You Need to Know About the Music Business by Donald S. Passme. It's the industry Bible. Let me get my phones together. I thought I already did it, but I forgot one thing. So let me just do that and we'll get started. Okay, bam. That phone's right. Chapter 4, Business Managers. The business manager is the person on your team who handles your money. He or she collects it, keeps track of it, pays your bills, makes sure you file your tax returns, oversees your investments, etc. Listen to me. Did you know that in California, a person needs no credentials whatsoever to be a business manager? Contrary to popular opinion, you don't have to be an accountant, much less a certified public accountant. And you don't even have to be licensed by the state. Technically, business managers who give certain kinds of investment advice need to be registered investment advisors, like stockbrokers who are licensed by the federal government. They can sell securities to the public. However, very few are. What this means that you could be turning your money over to someone who has no more financial training than you do. And when you stop to think about it, that's pretty scary. I know you wouldn't have gone into the music business if you wanted to be a financial whiz. If you were good with numbers, you'll be in some cubicle manipulating an electronic spreadsheet instead of winning your way into the hearts of millions. I also know that numbers make you nervous and may even intimidate you. On the other hand, there are parts of all our lives that we don't like. And while we can get other people to deal with them day to day, we have to be sure we choose good people to do it. For this reason, I urge you to personally spend some time investigating all of the people on your team. And be especially careful when it comes to business managers. They can range anywhere from superb to sleazoid with managers. I'm going to read that again. They can range anywhere from superb to sleazoid with all variations in between. And their bedside manner in the office space may tell you very little about what they're really like. The bad ones can be like a shiny used car that's resting underneath a new paint job. Financial disasters can come from someone who's an in and out crook, or they can come from an honest person who is just a boob. My doctor once told me a story about an orderly he had when he was in the army. One day, the orderly, decided to go that extra mile and do something on his own initiative. So, with the best of intentions, he sterilized all of the thermometers by boiling them. So be extremely careful when you pick a business manager. Hopefully I've now got your attention. So let's look at how to find the right person. Oh, and did I mention you should be careful? How to pick a business manager. References. The other professionals on your team can be a great help in choosing a business manager. But remember, they may have their own agendas. For example, a personal manager may have referred a lot of important clients to a business manager and therefore has a lot of control over the business manager. This is a two-edged sword. It means you may get a lot of attention from the business manager, but it also means if you have a fight with your personal manager, the business manager is not necessarily on your side. If the business manager loses you, it's only one account. If they upset the personal manager, it could mean their whole career. This is particularly true when the business manager also does the personal manager's work. With reputable personal managers and reputable business managers, I have rarely found this to be a practical problem, but it's a sign to be careful, extra careful. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Family, friends, and hangers-on. Ooh, this is a good one. Bearing very unusual circumstances, inviting family members into your financial life is extremely dangerous. Most of them aren't qualified to do the job. And even when they are, it's difficult for them to be totally objective about you. It's the same reason that doctors won't operate on their immediate family, because they're too involved emotionally. And not only that, A, it's very difficult to fire your brother. And B, if something goes wrong, mom may stop speaking to you. Friends are also dangerous for exactly the same reasons. This is an area that really needs a professional. Business manager checklist. Excuse me. When interviewing business managers, they take another look at Chapter 2 for general questions, then add these specifics. 1. What kinds of financial reports are you going to get, and how often? You should get monthly reports. Ask to see samples of the reports. Are they clear? Can you understand them? 2. What is the business manager's investment portfolio? Will they only keep your money in conservative short-term paper, meaning bank deposits or government notes of 30 days to 1 year duration, or in highly pork belly futures? Don't settle for the gobbledygook that says we tailor our services to every individual need. Ask what they'll do for you and why. 3. Is he or she a CPA? Excuse me, another word for certified public accountant, CPA. Accountants who are certified have passed rigorous exams and at least have that part of the job down. Whether they have the other skills to be a good business manager is a different question. But at least they're true professionals who have trained extensively and are required to follow the CPA's code of ethics. 4. How much do they charge? This is discussed in detail below. 5. What's the business manager going to do besides paying your bills or keeping track of your income? Will they do your tax returns? Some charge extra for tax returns or send them to outsiders who charge. Are they going to handle your investments or hire an outsider? In either case, are they paid for investments? Do they do projections, budgets, and forecasts of your income and expenses? Do they coordinate wills and estate planning? Oversee buying and selling houses? Monitor your insurance needs? Oversee divorces? 6. Do they have a dedicated tax staff? As you get more successful, you're going to need specialized tax advice. For example, when you tour in the United States, you may have to file tax returns in every state you play. And international touring gets even more complicated tax-wise. Hope you guys are enjoying this. 7. What security systems do they have in place to safeguard your money? How strictly do they screen their employees? What checks and balances keep a bookkeeper for turning up on a yacht in Venezuela, lighting his cars with your money? 8. Does the business manager want a written agreement? Most business managers require written agreements, although some don't. It isn't a bad idea because it spells out exactly what's going on. However, don't ever agree to a deal that locks you into them for any period of time. You should be free to leave whenever you want. If there's a written agreement, be sure you see it in advance and have your lawyer look it over. That's key, y'all. Before any deal or transaction, make sure you have a lawyer to confirm and give you the details of things that you're worried about or you don't fully understand. 10. Have they handled people with your particular problems and challenges? If you're a new artist, you want to be sure they know how to watch every penny so you can survive. You also want to be sure they have time for you. If you're a superstar, you want to make sure they've handled, for example, mega tours, which require massive financial controls, as well discussed in chapter 23, we'll get there, as well as knowledge of how much venues should be charging, what you should pay for a truck rental, and how to minimize taxes, etc. 11. Do they have EIO, which is the errors or omissions insurance? E&O insurance pays you if the business manager mishandles your affairs. So I'm going to read that again. Do they have an E&O? An E&O stands for errors and omissions. It's an insurance. E&O insurance pays you if the business manager mishandles your affairs. If they, excuse me, if they have insurance, how much do they carry? Also, ask if their insurance only covers accounting, or does it also cover investing advice? If you live outside of the United States or plan any extensive touring or other activities outside the U.S., do they have international experience? Do they have a passport? Have they traveled the world? I probably don't have to tell you that mentioning the tax laws between several countries, much less understanding the tax laws in any one of them, is a major pain. And if you have or think you'll have these kinds of problems, you'll need someone who's been down that road. 13. Thank you for viewing, y'all. Do they get referral fees from any place they might put your money, such as buying insurance, putting your money in a specific bank, running your investments through a particular stockbroker, etc.? A referral fee is an amount. So a referral fee is an amount paid to the business manager for sending your business to a particular place as compensation for referring you there. Ideally, they shouldn't get any such fee because it could affect the advice they give you. They might be inclined to put your dough with someone who gives them a fee, even if it's not in your best interest. However, if an existence of the fee and the amount are fully disclosed upfront, and if your business manager is willing to credit it against their fees, and also if you give independent advice about the particular transaction, this could be okay. Maybe. Put your radar up if you see it. It's a serious red flag. 14. How do they handle check signing? It's now possible for artists to see and approve checks online through a secure system. So ask if the business manager has the capability. If not, you may want to sign the bigger checks. Excuse me. 15. Will the business manager object to your auditing them periodically? An audit means you send in an independent person to see if your business manager has properly handled your money. A lot of people are reluctant to audit their business managers. They think it's awkward because it looks like they don't trust them. In fact, the ethical business managers welcome it. They have to know everything is as it should be. You can figure out which ones don't want you to audit. Auditing is key, y'all. Auditing a business manager is expensive, $25,000 plus. So it's not worth it unless you earn substantial monies. However, when you get them to the big leagues, an audit is important to consider. If you raise the issue up front, there won't be any hassle later on. 16. Be sure the business manager wants to educate you rather than just put you on the head and say, trust me, kid. Most decisions can be condensed down to a fairly simple summary, and you should make all the significant decisions yourself. So be wary of someone who just wants to tell you what to do and seems offended if you question it. Fees. Thank you for viewing. How you pay your business manager varies depending on your circumstance. The custom is for them to work on either a percentage basis, 5%, an hourly rate, a flat fee, or a combination. Some people earn tons of dough and have uncomplicated lives. If this is you, go for an hourly rate or a set fee. Others earn much less and always seem to have financial troubles. If that's more your style, go for a percentage. Ironically, if your finances nose dive, you may need more of your business manager's time. Then when you're doing well, he or she has to keep the wolves away from the door and turn pennies into nickels. This, of course, comes at a time when you can least afford to pay. With percentage deals, a lot of business managers want a minimum fee because they have costs to set up. Oh, my bad, I missed the word. Because they have legitimate costs to set up their system for you. So, unless you're willing to take a flyer in the hope that you'll someday be hugely successful, they want their downside covered. These minimums are in the range of $2,000 to $5,000 a month, but can be much more for superstars. Sometimes the minimum fee is a discounted hourly rate. For example, 2/3 of their normal rate. Under these arrangements, they get more dough if they do a lot of work, but you pay less than if they were on an hourly rate. Whatever minimum you work out, it will be against, meaning a prepayment of the percentage. If you do a percentage deal, many business managers will accept the maximum fee, called a cap. You should always ask for this, particularly when they're charging you a minimum. The cap will vary with the amount of money you earn and the amount of work you require. They're generally around $150,000 to $300,000 per year, which means if you're paying 5%, you're earning 3 to 6 million a year. Minimum fees for people in the range are about $30,000 to $125,000 per year. Oh, that's interesting. When you make a percentage deal, it should only apply to money received, not earned. While the business manager is involved, also ask if it applies to an investment income. With some business managers, it does, while with others, it doesn't. If the business manager is farming out investments to independent advisors, as most of them do these days, I will not try to pay a percentage of investment income. If you don't do a percentage fee deal, most business managers charge an hourly rate. In this case, spell out what the rate is and be sure they tell you the rate for everyone involved, not just the top people. Sometimes, if the business manager is young and hungry, or if you have a lot of clout, he or she may be willing to take a flat fee for all services, regardless of the amount of work. Often it's a flat fee for normal services, plus an additional amount for touring work, which is reasonable because touring takes an enormous amount of time and resources. So listen again. Let me say this one more time. Be extremely careful in picking your business manager. More careful than you are with anyone else on your team. This is a person who can make sure you have a cozy old age or leave you playing supermarket openings in your 50s. You're half of the job. Just as important as picking the right business manager is your own altitude. I remember seeing one of Elvis Presley's bodyguards at a press conference. A reporter asked why he didn't stop Elvis from taking drugs. His answer, "How do you save a man from himself?" That answer really hit me. I've always felt it was one of the most telling statements about an entertainer's life. If you don't care about your financial future, it's difficult for anybody else to. If someone really constantly telling you not to do something, like spend money, and you really want to do it, you'll probably get rid of them rather than listen. Remember Dick Gregory's quote. See page 29 for reference. If you're going to spend everything you make, then start spending money you don't have. You're going to end up broke. It's that simple. And it doesn't matter how much you earn. So don't do it. Unless you subscribe to my partner Chuck Scott's philosophy. The best way to build a small fortune is to take a large one and dwindle it down. Few things last forever, and a assured stream of earnings at your highest level is not one of them. So even the best business managers can help you if you overspend on jets, yachts, houses, cars, and controlled substances. I know you're reading this and saying it will never apply to you, but only you can make it sure if it doesn't. Alright, that's chapter 4, or All You Need to Know About the Music Business by Donald S. Passman, but you could also use that for certain key things in life. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed your day. We read All You Need to Know About the Music Business, Donald S. Passman. If you guys want to send your tithes and offering, if you guys liked what you heard today and the knowledge about not just all you need to know about the music business, but using them key things in your everyday life, you could send your tithes and offering via Cash App at $KarloRossi 559. That's $KarloRossi 559. Thank you and enjoy your day.